In a world increasingly marked by isolationist tendencies and a retreat from global interdependence, the specter of a collapsing globalization looms large. Zahra, a professor of history at the University of Chicago, articulates this urgent concern in her recent op-ed for the New York Times, where she draws parallels between historical precedents and the current political climate. As history has shown, the consequences of abandoning globalization can lead to dire outcomes, including economic turmoil and social unrest. Zahra begins her analysis by referencing the peak of globalization before World War I, a period characterized by technological advancements that facilitated the swift movement of goods, people, and ideas across borders. The economist John Maynard Keynes painted a vivid picture of this era where a Londoner could expect a plethora of global products at his doorstep, symbolizing an unprecedented interconnectedness. However, this optimism was shattered by the geopolitical upheaval of the early 20th century, leading to a drastic decline in international trade and the rise of authoritarianism in its wake. Fast forward to the end of the 20th century, globalization experienced a renaissance following the fall of communism and the expansion of the European Union. With migration surging and economies intertwining, many believed that the momentum of globalization was unstoppable. Yet, as Zahra highlights, both epochs of globalization met catastrophic declines, first with the onset of World War I and later with the Great Depression. These tumultuous events not only dismantled economic ties but also gave rise to nationalist movements that scapegoated minority groups and turned inward, often with devastating consequences. Today, the COVID-19 pandemic, akin to World War I in its global impact, has accelerated a backlash against globalization. The disruption of supply chains and the rise of populist leaders, exemplified by Donald Trump's administration, have rekindled fears of economic isolationism. Zahra notes that Trump's tariffs, reminiscent of protectionist measures of the past, threatened to raise prices for American consumers and could herald a recession. The entire fate of the global economy rests on the whims of one man who does not seem to have any idea what he's actually doing, warns Jen Psaki in her commentary on the ramifications of such policies. As Zahra reflects on the history of globalization, she emphasizes that the rise of anti-global sentiment is neither new nor unfounded. The benefits of globalization have not been evenly distributed, leading to significant inequalities that fuel resentment and political discontent. Drawing on the insights of historical figures like Stefan Zweig and Keynes, she argues that their nostalgia for an interconnected world was rooted in a privilege that excluded many. The reality for working-class individuals and migrants during peak globalization was often one of exploitation and hardship, a stark contrast to the privileged experiences of the elite. Zahra's analysis serves as a cautionary tale for contemporary society. The lessons from the past suggest that without addressing the inequalities exacerbated by globalization, the backlash could lead to further division and conflict. She calls for a re-evaluation of the current global order, proposing that we must find ways to reconcile globalization with the imperative of equality. This could involve reforms to international trade systems, increased social spending to alleviate economic burdens, and policies that prioritize the welfare of marginalized communities. As we stand at this critical juncture, the path forward requires a concerted effort to embrace the positives of globalization while also addressing its shortcomings. The stakes are high. History teaches us that neglecting these issues can lead to catastrophic outcomes. Whether we can navigate this precarious landscape without descending into chaos remains to be seen, but the urgency of action is undeniable. The future of globalization, and indeed our shared global society, depends on our ability to learn from the past and forge a more equitable and interconnected world. In a season marked by both personal and professional challenges, the enduring need for a break has resonated deeply with many families as they navigate the demands of daily life. Ryan Traers, a senior reporter and columnist for the Daily Journal, recently reflected on this universal sentiment as he shared the experiences of his family during the long winter months leading up to spring. The season was characterized by relentless snowstorms, frigid temperatures, and a series of exhausting school projects for his son Anthony. Amidst the academic grind, Traers and his wife realized that they too had not taken any time off since the holidays, leading to a collective feeling of weariness. "We all needed a break," Traers noted, underscoring a sentiment felt by many as the winter dragged on. As spring approached, the anticipation for a much-needed break grew. However, instead of the typical spring break getaway to a sunny beach, Traers' family opted for a change of scenery closer to home. Traditionally, they would visit their favorite beach town of Grand Haven, Michigan during the summer months, but this year they decided to take a chance and explore it during the spring. Although they anticipated less than ideal weather with temperatures ranging from the mid-30s to mid-50s, Traers expressed excitement for the trip, highlighting the unique charm that off-season travel can offer. Reflecting on previous visits to Grand Haven, Traers reminisced about the magic of the town even in less than ideal conditions. "A beach town has a different feel outside of tourist season," he observed, noting the warmer interactions with locals and the ease of securing tables at restaurants. These experiences served as a reminder that sometimes the most memorable moments come from unexpected circumstances. While Traers acknowledged the possibility of a future trip to a sunny Florida beach for Anthony, he emphasized the importance of embracing the present. The family planned to enjoy outdoor activities, warm beverages, and the serene beauty of Lake Michigan. "I can't wait," he concluded, encapsulating the excitement of creating new memories together. In a broader context, the winter months have not only tested individual families but have also echoed in various sectors, including education and the arts. In light of recent events such as the postponement of author visits to schools due to shifting social climates, the importance of accessibility to literature and diverse voices has come under scrutiny. Authors like Leslie Ann Newman have faced dilemmas regarding visits to schools, enacting restrictive policies which ultimately affect students' exposure to vital narratives. As the landscape of education continues to evolve, the need for open conversations about inclusion and representation grows ever more pressing. Traers' reflections on the significance of taking a break and seeking new experiences serve as a reminder of the importance of nurturing mental well-being amid external pressures. Looking ahead, families and educators alike will need to adapt to changing circumstances and continue to advocate for environments that foster creativity and understanding. As spring unfolds, the hope for brighter days and new adventures remains strong, encouraging individuals to cherish connections with loved ones and explore the world around them, no matter the season. In a compelling intersection of nature and narrative, Kansas photographer David W. Hinton's evocative portrayal of the Flint Hills captures the essence of a landscape defined by its cycles of destruction and renewal. With a career dedicated to documenting the ever-changing beauty of this region, Hinton's work reflects the deep connection between the land and the elemental forces that shape it, particularly the role of fire in maintaining the prairie ecosystem. Hinton's photography serves as a visual narrative encapsulating what he calls the fire and death and rebirth inherent in the Flint Hills. This area, known for its expansive grasslands and diverse wildlife, has historically relied on controlled burns to promote new growth and maintain its ecological health. Fire is a natural part of this ecosystem, Hinton explains, emphasizing how it clears out old and dead vegetation, allowing fresh grass to flourish, which in turn supports the local fauna. The photographer's images not only celebrate the natural beauty of the Flint Hills but also provoke a deeper discussion about land management practices and the impacts of climate change. As wildfires become increasingly unpredictable due to rising temperatures and shifting weather patterns, Hinton's work underscores the urgent need for sustainable practices that honor the traditional methods of land stewardship. In recent years, the Flint Hills have experienced significant changes, prompting Hinton to reflect on the fragility and resilience of this landscape. "Every season tells a story," he notes, referring to the stark contrasts between the verdant growth of spring and the stark charred remnants left after a fire. Through his lens, he invites viewers to understand the cycles of life that characterize the region, cycles that are at risk as human activity encroaches upon these natural rhythms. The Flint Hills also serve as a backdrop for discussions about conservation and the importance of maintaining biodiversity. Hinton's photographs reveal the delicate balance that must be struck to preserve not only the scenic vistas but also the intricate web of life that depends on them. As agriculture continues to expand into these grasslands, the challenge lies in finding ways to coexist with nature while ensuring that the ecological integrity of the land is protected. Looking ahead, Hinton is optimistic about the future of the Flint Hills. Awareness is growing, he asserts, pointing to increased community involvement in conservation efforts and a resurgence of interest in traditional ecological knowledge. His photographs aim to inspire a sense of stewardship among viewers, reminding them that the health of the Flint Hills is intrinsically linked to their own well-being. As climate challenges intensify and the landscape continues to evolve, Hinton's work remains a poignant reminder of the resilience of nature and the collective responsibility to protect it. The cycles of fire and rebirth he captures are not just a testament to the beauty of the Flint Hills but also a call to action to preserve this vital ecosystem for future generations. In a dramatic turn of events, fashion tech startup Castle Incorporated has found itself at the center of a staggering $500 million fraud crisis, raising serious questions about corporate governance and investor due diligence in the fast-paced world of fashion technology. Founded by Christine Hunsaker, Castle initially captured the industry's attention with its innovative approach to managing unsold retail inventory through a rental model. However, recent reports have suggested that the company's financial practices may not have been as solid as its business model. According to Axios, the company is reportedly on the brink of financial collapse, with sources alleging that Hunsaker misled potential investors about Castle's revenue figures. While the startup claimed to have generated $519 million in revenue for 2023, the actual figure was a mere $15.7 million, a discrepancy that has left investors reeling. Notable backers, including high-profile investors like Peter Thiel, Bill Ackman, and Henry Kravis, are now grappling with the fallout from this revelation. Historically, Castle aimed to solve a common problem in the retail fashion sector: the reliance on markdowns and the resultant losses on unsold inventory. By taking control of excess stock and offering it for rent, Castle positioned itself as a potential game-changer. With partnerships established with major retailers such as Express and Taylor, the startup appeared to be on a promising trajectory. However, a recent shareholder letter revealed that Hunsaker had allegedly provided investors with misleading financial statements and false audit opinions, exacerbating the company's already precarious position. In the wake of these allegations, the board of directors expressed deep disappointment at the conduct that led to the crisis, prioritizing the preservation of the company's technology and operations over immediate layoffs. Unfortunately, the situation has compelled Castle to temporarily furlough its entire workforce for 2 weeks as it navigates this severe liquidity problem. The unfolding drama raises critical questions about how such significant miscalculations could occur within a startup backed by experienced investors. Often the allure of a compelling vision can lead to lax scrutiny over financial realities. Startups typically focus on growth and market capture, often at the expense of rigorous financial reporting, which can obscure the truth about their financial health. In the case of Castle, the lack of transparency around cash flow may have masked deeper issues, allowing the company to misrepresent its financial performance without immediate detection. Financial analysts stress the importance of rigorous due diligence, particularly in the startup environment where enthusiasm can cloud judgment. As investors are often swayed by the potential for high returns, they may overlook signs of impending trouble, such as increasing borrowings alongside reported profits. This crisis serves as a stark reminder of the necessity for comprehensive financial oversight and the need for investors to delve deeper into a company's cash flow and operational metrics. Looking ahead, the fallout from Castle's crisis is likely to prompt a re-evaluation of investment strategies within the fashion tech sector. Investors may become more cautious and demand greater transparency from startups, particularly in the context of financial reporting. It remains to be seen how Castle will navigate this tumultuous period and whether it can recover from the damage inflicted by these allegations. As the fashion industry continues to evolve, the lessons learned from this incident could reshape the landscape for future startups in the space, underscoring the critical balance between innovation and financial integrity. In the competitive landscape of corporate America, achieving recognition as one of the best workplaces is no small feat. For the second consecutive year, a McLean-based company has captured the top spot on Fortune's prestigious list of best companies to work for. This accolade not only highlights the company's commitment to fostering a supportive and engaging workplace culture but also sets a benchmark for others in the industry. The company's success can be attributed to its innovative policies, employee-centric practices, and a strong emphasis on work-life balance, which resonate deeply with its workforce. The annual list compiled by Fortune in collaboration with Great Place to Work evaluates companies based on extensive employee feedback and various workplace metrics. The criteria include trust in leadership, opportunities for professional development, and the overall employee experience. The recognition is particularly meaningful in today's work environment, where many employees seek not just a job but a fulfilling workplace that prioritizes their well-being and growth. In a statement, the company's CEO emphasized the importance of creating a culture where employees feel valued and empowered, noting, "Our people are our greatest asset and their happiness directly correlates with our success." As companies navigate the evolving demands of the workforce, this recognition serves as a reminder of the critical need for transparency and inclusivity in corporate culture. Organizations aiming to replicate this success must assess their own practices and consider how they can enhance employee satisfaction. This includes implementing flexible work arrangements, providing robust benefits, and fostering an environment where feedback is not only welcomed but actively sought. In contrast to this positive news, significant unrest was reported at Microsoft during its recent 50th anniversary celebrations. Employees took to the streets to protest against the company's ongoing contract with the Israeli government, which has drawn criticism from various advocacy groups and sparked a broader discussion about corporate responsibility and ethical governance. Protesters voiced concerns over the implications of such contracts on global human rights and expressed a desire for the company to align its business practices with its stated values. This incident underscores a growing trend among employees who feel empowered to speak out against their employers when they perceive a misalignment between corporate actions and ethical standards. Meanwhile, in the realm of small businesses, Emerald Pet Groom Shop LLC has made headlines by relocating to a larger facility in New Waterford, Ohio. Founded by Taylor Gilkinson in 2020, the shop has grown significantly since its inception, driven by Gilkinson's passion for animal care and her commitment to providing high-quality grooming services. The new location will allow Emerald Pet to expand its offerings, including the introduction of doggy daycare services planned for the summer. Gilkinson's journey into entrepreneurship was influenced by her background in equine science and her father's encouragement to explore dog grooming. The decision to name her business after her grandfather, who was a significant figure in her life, adds a personal touch that resonates with her clients. As she continues to build her brand, Gilkinson emphasizes the importance of maintaining high standards of care, including accreditation as an AKC-safe groomer, which requires rigorous safety protocols. As we look ahead, the landscape of employment, corporate responsibility, and small business growth will undoubtedly continue to evolve. The lessons learned from both large corporations and small enterprises will shape the future of the workplace and influence how companies engage with their employees and communities. The emphasis on ethical practices, employee satisfaction, and personal connection is likely to become increasingly important as we navigate the complexities of a changing world. In an increasingly interconnected world, technology companies often find themselves caught in the crosshairs of geopolitical tensions. This has never been more evident than in the ongoing trade war between the United States and China, where TikTok has emerged as a significant bargaining chip. The popular social media platform owned by Chinese company ByteDance has become embroiled in a complex web of tariffs and trade negotiations, drawing attention from analysts and policymakers alike. As the stakes rise, the implications for both the tech industry and international relations are profound. Recent reports indicate that the Biden administration is considering a range of options concerning TikTok, particularly in light of rising tensions with China. Analysts suggest that the platform's fate could hinge on broader trade negotiations, with TikTok potentially serving as leverage in discussions over tariffs and trade agreements. TikTok represents not just a popular platform but also a strategic asset in the ongoing economic standoff between the US and China, noted Dan Ives, global head of technology at Wedbush Securities. The Biden administration may leverage the platform to negotiate more favorable terms in trade discussions. The situation escalated following President Trump's sweeping tariffs on imports from China, which have had far-reaching effects on tech companies. Tariffs ranging from 10% to 46% on various goods have raised costs significantly for American companies, particularly in the technology sector where reliance on Chinese manufacturing is prevalent. According to a recent report by Renaissance Macro Research, these tariffs could lead to a reduction in GDP by approximately 1 percentage point, signaling potential economic repercussions if the trade conflict continues unabated. As the trade war intensifies, companies like Apple, Dell, and HP are feeling the pressure. The imposition of tariffs not only increases operational costs but also threatens to disrupt global supply chains. This is an economic Armageddon if it stays in its current form, Ives stated, emphasizing the potential for a significant downturn in tech sector growth. Analysts expect that prolonged tariffs could lead to decreased consumer demand, job losses, and a slowdown in innovation. The impact is already being felt in the labor market, with economists warning that the rising costs associated with tariffs may lead to layoffs and reduced hiring. Claudia Saum, chief economist at New Century Advisors, pointed out that the labor market's resilience will be critical as the economic landscape shifts. If employers start pulling back on hiring or reducing hours, we could see a more significant downturn in the job market. She cautioned. The broader political implications of the trade war are also becoming increasingly evident. As the Biden administration grapples with the complexities of managing relations with China, the prospects for bipartisan support on trade policies appear tenuous. Recent polling suggests a decline in approval ratings for President Biden, raising questions about the political ramifications of the administration's trade strategy. The trade war is not just an economic issue, it has become a political battleground, remarked Gautam Mukundla, professor at Yale University School of Management. Looking ahead, the future of TikTok, and by extension the tech sector, remains uncertain. Industry leaders are calling for clarity on trade policies as companies face mounting pressure to adapt to a rapidly changing environment. With the potential for further escalations in tariffs and a lack of clear direction from policymakers, the tech industry is bracing itself for a tumultuous period. As discussions around TikTok evolve, the platform's fate will likely serve as a litmus test for the broader US-China relationship. The outcome could set a precedent for how technology companies navigate the complexities of international trade in an increasingly polarized world. The coming months will be crucial as stakeholders seek to balance economic interests with the geopolitical realities of the trade war. In a groundbreaking discovery that could reshape our understanding of consciousness, neuroscientists have identified a deep brain structure that plays a critical role in filtering conscious awareness. Published in Science, this study marks a significant advancement in neuroscience as researchers have for the first time linked the thalamus, a central hub in the brain, to conscious perception. The human brain is continuously bombarded with sensory information. Yet we are only aware of a fraction of it. While the cerebral cortex has long been acknowledged for its role in conscious thought, the involvement of deeper structures has remained elusive due to the challenges of studying them. Liad Mudrik, a neuroscientist at Tel Aviv University, highlights the skepticism surrounding consciousness studies, stating, "The field has evoked a lot of criticism because this is a phenomenon that is so hard to study." However, advances in systematic research methodologies are beginning to change this narrative. Mingxia Zhang, a neuroscientist at Beijing Normal University, led a study where participants undergoing therapy for chronic headaches had electrodes implanted into their brains. This setup allowed researchers to capture real-time neural activity in both the thalamus and cortex as participants responded to visual stimuli. The study required participants to indicate whether they noticed an icon flashing on a screen, a task designed to gauge their conscious awareness. Remarkably, the data showed that when the participants were aware of the icon, thalamic activity preceded and was more robust than that in the cortex, suggesting that the thalamus acts as a gatekeeper for conscious thought. Christopher White, a systems neuroscientist at the University of Sydney, praised the study for its innovative approach, stating, "It is really pretty remarkable to look at how the timing of neural activity in different regions varied. This synchronized activity between the thalamus and prefrontal cortex implies that the thalamus may filter which sensory information is brought to conscious awareness, a theory supported by previous animal studies." Despite the promising findings, questions remain about whether the task accurately captured genuine conscious experience or merely tracked attention. Zheng plans to extend this research by conducting further experiments involving both humans and macaque monkeys to deepen the understanding of the thalamus's role in consciousness. In a parallel development, artificial intelligence has taken a significant leap forward, with Google's DeepMind unveiling its new AI system Dreamer, which has successfully taught itself to navigate the complexities of the video game Minecraft. This achievement highlights the potential for AI systems to generalize knowledge across different tasks, a long-standing goal in the field. Danijar Hafner, a computer scientist at DeepMind, emphasized the importance of this breakthrough. Dreamer marks a significant step towards general AI systems. Unlike previous attempts that relied on human demonstrations, Dreamer operates through a trial-and-error approach using reinforcement learning, allowing it to build a world model that enables it to predict outcomes of its actions without excessive computational demands. This ability to imagine future scenarios and make decisions based on predicted rewards could revolutionize how AI learns and interacts with real-world environments. The implications of Dreamer's success extend beyond gaming. It opens pathways for developing robots that can learn to navigate complex situations in the real world. Hafner explained that testing Dreamer's capabilities on the diamond collection task in Minecraft was an unplanned yet ideal way to evaluate the algorithm's adaptability. As researchers continue to unravel the intricate mechanisms of consciousness and advance AI technologies, the future holds exciting possibilities. The ongoing investigations into the thalamus may not only enhance our understanding of human awareness but also influence the development of intelligent machines capable of more nuanced interactions with their environments. This dual exploration highlights the interconnectedness of neuroscience and artificial intelligence, paving the way for innovations that could significantly alter both fields. The Audubon Community Nature Center has opened submissions for its 2025 Nature Photography Contest, inviting both seasoned photographers and enthusiastic amateurs to showcase their best work. With a total of $1,600 in prize money on the line, the competition is set to highlight the beauty of nature across three distinct categories: birds, waterscapes, and single blooms. This year's contest not only encourages creativity but also fosters a deeper appreciation for the natural world. The competition is open to both adults and youth aged 8 to 18. With each participant having the opportunity to win $200 in cash for their entries. Judges will select winners and 3 finalists in each category, while an additional $200 will be awarded for the entries that receive the most community choice votes online. This dual recognition system allows photographers to engage with the public and garner support for their work, adding an exciting interactive element to the contest. In the birds category, participants can submit photographs of any wild bird species, though images of birds in captivity, such as pets or zoo animals, are excluded. The waterscapes category invites photographers to capture the essence of natural bodies of water, whether it be oceans, rivers, or lakes. Finally, the single blooms category focuses on the beauty of individual flowers, encouraging photographers to highlight the delicate details that make each bloom unique. The contest website will feature winning and finalist photographs. And the Audubon Community Nature Center plans to print and exhibit these images within the Nature Center itself. Winners will be announced via a widely distributed press release ensuring that their achievements receive the recognition they deserve. Photographers are encouraged to submit their entries as soon as possible, as this will allow more time for public voting on Community Choice Awards. The deadline for submissions is set for Monday, June 30, 2025, providing ample time for participants to refine their entries and engage with the voting process. As the contest unfolds, it not only serves as a platform for artistic expression but also emphasizes the importance of conservation and awareness of the natural environment. The Audubon Community Nature Center aims to inspire a greater appreciation for wildlife and ecosystems, fostering a community of individuals who are passionate about preserving the beauty of nature. Looking ahead, the 2025 Nature Photography Contest promises to be a celebration of creativity and environmental stewardship, encouraging participants to connect with nature in meaningful ways. As more entries pour in and community engagement grows, this competition could very well inspire future generations of nature photographers and conservation advocates. In a world increasingly defined by geopolitical tensions and the rapid evolution of military capabilities, the United States Space Force is turning its focus toward ground-based anti-satellite weaponry. This strategic shift aims to enhance the nation's defensive posture in space, underscoring the importance of terrestrial assets in the evolving landscape of space warfare. General Chance Saltzman, the chief of the Space Force, made this announcement on April 3, highlighting that the service has prioritized the development of technologies that are more mature and operationally viable at ground level. The rationale behind this pivot is clear. As the threat to U.S. satellites grows, the Space Force recognizes the necessity for robust countermeasures. Saltzman pointed out that while space-based solutions remain vital, ground-based systems offer a greater readiness advantage. We have to ensure our capabilities can respond faster than our adversaries, he stated, emphasizing the need for both offensive and defensive strategies to protect critical space assets. This move comes amid a backdrop of increasing anti-satellite activities by nations such as China and Russia, which have demonstrated their ability to target and disable opposing satellites. The U.S. is not only responding to these threats but is also acknowledging that the space domain is becoming increasingly congested and contested. By concentrating on ground-based systems, the Space Force aims to leverage existing technologies and develop new ones that can quickly be integrated into its operational framework. The implications of this strategy extend beyond military readiness; they also impact international relations and space policy. The U.S. must navigate the fine line between deterrence and escalation in a domain where the rules of engagement are still being defined. As Saltzman noted, we must balance our need for security with the international norms that govern space operations, indicating that the Space Force is aware of the potential diplomatic ramifications of its actions. Moreover, as the Space Force charts its future course, it is clear that collaboration with allied nations will be crucial. The development of joint capabilities and shared intelligence will enhance collective security in space, allowing allies to present a unified front against common threats. As the world keeps a close watch on these developments, the Space Force's focus on ground-based anti-satellite capabilities marks a significant step in the ongoing arms race in space. The ramifications of this strategic shift will likely shape not only U.S. military doctrine but also global perceptions of security in an increasingly interconnected and vulnerable space environment. Looking ahead, the Space Force is expected to continue refining its approach to both ground and space-based technologies, ensuring that the United States maintains its edge in this critical arena. As technological advancements unfold, the dialogue surrounding the militarization of space will undoubtedly intensify, compelling nations to reassess their strategies and policies in response to a rapidly changing landscape. In a striking revelation that blurs the boundaries between species, researchers have uncovered a fascinating behavior among cannibalistic spiders that could shed light on their social dynamics. This intriguing discovery, published in the journal Science, highlights how certain spider species, while known for their propensity to consume their siblings, exhibit a surprising tolerance towards them when alive. This behavior suggests the existence of a specific chemical or mechanical life signal that spiders use to discern the living from the dead, raising important questions about the evolution of social behaviors in arachnids. The findings stem from observations of a particular spider species that typically engages in sibling cannibalism, especially in times of food scarcity. As the study notes, these spiders refrain from eating their siblings when they are alive but quickly turn to cannibalism once their siblings pass away. This behavior implies that these spiders possess a mechanism to recognize the state of their nest mates, allowing them to coexist peacefully as they live and to act on their instinctual cannibalistic tendencies when the opportunity arises. Raphael Jeanson, a researcher at the University of Toulouse, emphasizes the significance of such signals in understanding the evolutionary pathways of social spiders. This behavior could be a key piece in unraveling how social structures evolve in spiders and other creatures, Jeanson stated. The research not only opens up avenues for further studies on arachnid social behavior but also prompts a re-evaluation of the complexities of animal interactions and survival strategies in ecosystems where resources are limited. In a separate but equally compelling study, researchers have turned their attention to another fascinating species, bonobos, revealing that their communication might share key characteristics with human language. This groundbreaking research indicates that bonobo vocalizations exhibit both trivial and non-trivial compositionality, a linguistic quality previously thought to be unique to humans. By analyzing over 700 vocalizations in context, scientists were able to identify how individual sounds can be combined to produce meanings that transcend the sum of their parts. Simon Townsend, a comparative psychologist at the University of Zurich and a co-author of the study, notes the implications of these findings for our understanding of language evolution. We would never claim that bonobos possess language in the human sense, but our research demonstrates that elements of linguistic structure are present in their communication, he explained. This revelation not only challenges long-held beliefs about the uniqueness of human language but also suggests that the cognitive foundations for complex communication may date back millions of years to our common ancestors. While the study has garnered excitement within the scientific community, it has also sparked debate. Critics such as cognitive scientist Tom Scott Phillips argue that the criteria for detecting non-trivial compositionality may be too broad, potentially applicable even to simpler forms of communication found in other species. Nevertheless, if the researchers' claims hold up under scrutiny, the implications for understanding the evolution of human language could be profound. As both studies illuminate the complexities of communication and social interactions in the animal kingdom, they also beckon future inquiries into the evolutionary origins of these behaviors. The ongoing exploration into the lives of these seemingly disparate creatures opens a window into the intricate tapestry of life on Earth, revealing that the threads of communication and social organization may be more intertwined than previously thought. With each new discovery, researchers inch closer to understanding the fundamental principles that govern not only arachnids and primates but the broader spectrum of life itself.